One of the region's best-known landmarks celebrates its 40th birthday this week. The Gravelly Hill Interchange is Britain's most famous bit of motorway, although you probably know it better by its nickname, Spaghetti Junction.
The sprawling mass of flyovers and underpasses covers a 30-acre site just north of Birmingham city centre. It serves 18 different routes and, since it was built back in 1972, it's been used by a staggering 2 billion vehicles. Our transport correspondent Peter Plisner pays tribute to a motoring icon.
I declare this motorway open.
11 years to design and build almost 200,000 tonnes of steel and concrete, all supported by 600 columns. Spaghetti Junction really is a marvel of modern engineering, and 40 years ago it was way ahead of its time.
Concrete piles of various diameters were bored in situ or precast.
But it wasn't easy to build. Its proximity to a railway line, a canal, a river and high-voltage power lines meant positioning the columns was more like threading needles.
The M6-M1 link well on its way, and the Gravelly Hill multi-level intersection progressing on schedule.
This one has got concrete beams there.
Yeah. Robin Soper was a member of the original design team.
You've threaded each column base between, say, the gas main and the canal or whatever like that, so that each one had to be thought about and positioned where there was no obstruction to it.
When it opened, Spaghetti Junction carried 40,000 vehicles per day, but now it's thought to be 5 times that number. But love it or hate it, everyone has a view.
Do you ever get confused driving across it or using it?
No, not now. Maybe in the beginning years ago, but not anymore.
From my experience, it seems to be okay. I mean, traffic's traffic, isn't it?
And the amount of traffic means that the road and its supporting structure are taking a pounding. As a result, there's now a constant maintenance programme. The Highways Agency spends £7 million a year on jobs like this. Here they're renewing parts of the reinforced concrete within one of the beams supporting Spaghetti. But despite the continuing work, they're adamant that 40 years on, the junction is not falling down.
No, there's nothing to be worried about there. There's a lot more reinforcement within the structure, and there's a big reserve designed into the structure. So this is just really a maintenance as opposed to anything to be worried about.
Directly above us is the main carriageway of the M6, so these beams are pretty important. Once the maintenance work has been done and the concrete's been reinstalled, they say they should last at least another 50 years. Which is probably just as well, considering that 40 years on, Spaghetti Junction remains a vital part of the UK's motorway network.
Some fabulous old pictures there, aren't there? Well, Peter Plisner joins us now live in the shadow of Spaghetti Junction on this very special occasion. So, 40 years old this week, Peter. What do you think? Will it last another 40?
Certainly will, Nick. As you can see, the work behind me is pretty extensive. Quick guided tour, as you can see above us, a major slip road from the M6 onto the Aston Expressway, which interestingly opened on the same day as Spaghetti Junction. Just beyond it, you can see the M6 carriageway, the main carriageway, pretty free-flowing tonight. And joining me from the Highways Agency is Andy Butterfield. Andy, it's a pretty extensive work. Are you sure it's not falling down?
Yes, we're confident. The structure was built to last 120 years, so 40 years is well within that time frame. So.
But it has seen a big increase in traffic and there's fewer vehicles using the M6 toll. It really is taking a pounding now, isn't it?
When the road first opened, it was running with about 40,000 vehicles a day. We're now up to around about 210,000 vehicles a day, so it is a lot of traffic, but that just means we need to keep up the maintenance on the roads here.
But how can it cope with so much extra traffic when it was designed for less?
It seems to be coping quite well. As you say, it's running freely at the moment, so we're quite happy that it'll continue running for another 40 years on.
And just very briefly, you pump electricity through the rods inside the concrete, don't you?
That's right. Just to protect the reinforcement steel in there, we pump a very small amount of electrical charge through just to keep that from corroding any further.
Andy, many thanks. Well, Spaghetti Junction, Gravelly Hill, whatever you call it, 40 years on, it's still doing what it was designed to do and keeping traffic flowing into Birmingham.
Peter, thanks very much indeed.
And you can see more of that wonderful old film of Spaghetti Junction being built and opened by going to our Facebook page. Now, on Wednesday,